Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. I am the Outlaw, John Rocha, coming to you on a rainy Monday morning in Los Angeles, California, live here on my YouTube channel. Excited to get into so many things with you all this morning. And of course, the number one thing is that I'm kind of transitioning into a new space, the meditation room that we have here that many of you have heard me talk about on numerous shows. I'm kind of playing around with turning this into a mini office that makes it a little more convenient for my lady and I. You know, she's now kind of working on her own business and putting it together. And I kind of want to give her back the old office that I was kind of using for now and kind of maybe turn this into a mini studio. The walls in the back here, they don't have much going on, but they will have much going on once I set everything up in here. But for now, this is like the beginning stages of it all. So this is, you know, you're getting in on the ground floor, kind of like you got in on the ground floor when I was building out the original office as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know that's what's going on and putting it all together. We'll see what happens once I get it all together and see how it looks like. I think it'll look fine. I think actually it'll look fine. Plus it's got a nice little couch. So it's a little more comfortable to be in here than the office chair necessarily. So I think that's another one of the reasons I wanted to do that in here. Plus we get a little bit of ventilation here. It's nice. All right, let's say hi to everybody. MK Songbird, what's going on? House of 420, always good to see you, my man. Maria Zambeno, good morning. As usual, I have my work phone in one ear and the show in the other. Thank you. I appreciate that, Marie. Let's see. Queen George Jim is in here. Morning, Outlaw Nation. Morning. Chris Hall, what's up, man? Let's see. Rick Zamoris, what's going down? Chris Scorpio, how are you? Jake Yakovet up in here. What up? What up? He's going to be in and out of here this morning. He said, Jake, did another fantastic thumbnail. Unfortunately, the Ezra Miller story broke this morning or last night, not in time to add that to the thumbnail, but Jake did a fantastic job with what I had already sent him. So maybe I could have penciled in Ezra Miller maybe in some form. We'll see. Let's see. MK Songbirds in here. Of course, I said, Andrew G, what's up? Larry Lease is up in here. Brandon Young, what's up, Broger? Can't wait for you and Smets to go at it in the Star Wars division. Yeah, that's a little ways off, but for right now, Christian announced the champion versus champion versus champion versus champion match. So that'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, how quickly we're going to shoot that thing. Larry Lee sends in a super chat already, says, good morning, Outlaw. Another great episode. Yeah, I hope so. I appreciate the positive faith before we even start. Thank you so much. Let's see, Manny Gonzalez is in here. Thunder God, Cairo 770 is in here. Let's see who else we got in here that I haven't said hi to yet. Ronnie Bedelia, how are you? Wiley Todd, what's up, Wiley? How's the mic sounding, Wiley? I'm trying to figure out the arm and everything like that now that I'm in this new position. So it's not always the easiest, but I'm trying to figure it out. So, and the pop filter is a little dented. So that's just how it goes sometimes. So we'll figure it out as I go along. Maybe I can iron it out somehow. Let's see, Cameron Hainsworth, what's going down? Oh wait, it's supposed to go the other way, isn't it? Because the pop filter is supposed to go towards my mouth. All right, there we go. Boom. All right, now we got it squared away. Let's see, Mr. G movie reviews. How are you? Dat Bo, what's going on? Let's see. Mr. G wants to have a battle over the Louis C.K. story. We'll get to that in a little bit. Miranda Regalado's up in here. Hi, Miranda. Paul Wallen, Paris Jesudason. Hope I said that right. Justin Towns is in here. Mike Brower is in here. Randall Tan, good morning. Hail to the Outlaw King. He said WrestleMania 36 was surprisingly okay. I agree. The Boneyard match and Firefly Funhouse match were very well put together. I do not disagree with you at all. Joey Pedras, how are you, Joey? Matty Gunner, what's going down, man? Good to see you. King Sport Cal, always good to see you. Larry Lee says, we always have a great show when Wiley is here. That is damn true. Damn true. J Dog says the Firefly Funhouse event was the acid trip I hope to never go on. I loved it. I might do a breakdown of it for my channel, to be honest with you. Is the mic not on? I thought the mic's on, the blue light. Can you see the blue light there, Wiley? Am I doing all right? Is the blue light not on? I feel like, are you guys not hearing me? Or are you guys having an issue hearing me? I selected it. Facetious Christ, what's up? Let me see if the audio I selected. Oh, the mic. Oh, sorry, the mic right there. AT 2020 USB. Maybe that. How about that? Is that better? Is that better? How does the mic sound? Is the mic better? Okay, just want to make sure. I've got it all squared away here. So there we go. All right, cool.
Wiley, let me know if it sounds better now, because you're right. I did. I had to select it. I thought I had selected it, but I guess doing the adjustments, I hadn't selected. Let me take a drink real quick before we start. I have to adjust that now too, like where I take my drinks and stuff. I got a little setup here. Just got to make sure I don't hit anything and knock it over. All right, cool. Better. All right, good. Everyone says better. Good. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. And also, what's great about this mic too is that I don't have to yell into it, so that's a positive as well. So you'll still get the passionate outlaw, but you might not get the insane outlaw that I felt I need to do with my other one. So I hope that doesn't hurt anyone's feelings overall in that way. So, but yeah, we're gonna get to a lot of things today. A lot of stuff going down. I think I'd be remiss not to start with the Ezra Miller story. So let's get into it now. And let me see how many of you all are watching me live. Let me get into my YouTube studio for this particular episode. All right, I got about 100 of you watching me live. Thank you all so much. Please swing that cursor over, hit the like button, get me over to 100 likes. I'd really appreciate that as quickly as we could. That'd be fantastic. Kind of build from there. Deathful says Insane Outlaw is the best outlaw. Sean, I did not finish Curb. I'll probably finish Curb today. Rocha needs a TV tray table. No, what I need is like a little mini desk that I can move around, which I will be getting. I will be getting that. I just got to go take a look. Maybe if IKEA is IKEA open during this kind of stuff? I don't know if IKEA is open. If it is, then maybe I'll get it from there. But either way, and I'll probably need a bigger tripod for the camera, because the camera right now is attached to the computer. But I think I want to get it like separate so I can get it even higher, so it's going down. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I'll be looking at as well. Yeah, smash that like button, please, guys. Get me up to 100 likes. It'd be really fun. So let's take a look at the Ezra Miller situation. Let me bring it up here on the StreamYard. So last night, this came over the intrawebs, and I saw it as well this morning, trying to confirm it and see what happened. He is caught. Apparently, he is caught on tape choking a woman at a public setting. Many of you know Ezra Miller is Flash. He was Flash for, Barry Allen / Flash in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and of course Justice League as well. But this was shared by the Twitter user with the handle Ren and in parentheses Assance, and it's a 5-second clip of Miller choking a woman and then throwing her down on the ground. And prior to attacking the woman, he can be heard saying, "Did you want to fight?" And let's take a look at the video now.
Learn it. Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. You want to fight? You learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. You want to fight?
Wow, that does not look good, ladies and gentlemen. That does not look good at all for Ezra at this point in the video itself, and what people are saying, or what this person is saying. They said that what really happened during the altercation was apparently, aside from choking the young woman, Miller also spat on them. This is coming from the companion of the young woman. The actor also showed scars from all the recent brawls he's been in. Meanwhile, there was a separate screenshot of a tweet from a user named Kylie Lampy, who was supposedly the original uploader of the video and was with the woman in question, and revealed in her tweets that her unnamed friend jokingly goaded Miller into a fight, but the actor took it too seriously. And you could see him going, "You want to fight?" and puts her in the choke. I don't think he choke slams her. He just certainly moves her down to the ground. But some people are choke slams. I'm a wrestling guy. So choke slams is lifting someone off their feet and then smashing them into the ground. So maybe I'm being a little too literal with the term choke slam, but it didn't look like a choke slam. He certainly moved her to the ground for sure, and forcefully. So you definitely for that. But at this point, we don't know, because his publicist hasn't come out with any comment. He hasn't come out with any comment at this point that I'm recording this. I haven't heard or read anything, and this still needs to be investigated. But right now, it does not look good. That is not a positive look on him at all. It's certainly unsettling to see someone who is, kind of as a superhero, playing Flash, playing Barry Allen, be in this situation. I think Ezra is going with the pronouns right now. I think from what I was reading, they do not look good right now. It's a bad look on them for what the position that they are in, which is to play one of these superheroes. And remember, this Flash movie has been in the works for so many years, switching out directors, switching out stories, script writers, things of that nature. So this kind of brings it all into question. If this is a stage stunt, or if this is something that was like kind of put upon or whatever, or set up, then of course Ezra has a little bit more of leeway to kind of like finagle out of the situation. However, if this situation where they are a little drunk and they got into this physical altercation with a young woman, then that is a bad sign all over the place for Flash. So to me, the question is, do you guys think there's a Flash movie after this? I mean, it looks certainly like this could be a terribly bad thing for him overall. We'll see what this does. I know everyone's like canceling him already, and there's a lot of tweets, and people are like so sad about it and all, but we don't know what the circumstances around it are. And clips can be taken out of context, or things can be set up in certain ways. So we don't know fully what actually happened, and until we find that out, I think we have to go by I think we have to wait for the investigation and then go by that. And then we'll see what his publicist, or what their publicist says about the situation. But yeah, let's see. If it was staged, Mike Brown says, yeah, if it was staged, it wasn't smart by Ezra to risk something like that. I agree. Flashpoint could fix this. Very funny. Facetious Christ. Yeah. Travis Earl says, I think the lady was smiling because she didn't know what to do. Because a lot of people are saying, well, she's kind of smiling. Haskell says, it kind of looks like he went, okay, want to mess with me? This is what I could do to you. But that is still, why would you do that? Why would you? You're an actor. You're a famous actor. And you're representing Warner Brothers. You're representing the DC universe. The last thing you want to do is to have a physical altercation with a young woman in this kind of environment. And everything's going on nowadays with 2019, 2020, the Me Too movement, everything like that. The last thing you want to do is physically force someone into a situation where you're assaulting them and putting them in, and putting yourself into giving yourself a bad look overall. I think that's a massive mistake on his end. And we'll see as this plays out what the repercussions are, what the consequences are, what the reactions are by the studio, what the reactions are by his publicists and things of that nature. But it doesn't look good. And I don't know. I feel like it was not the best thing overall. Cameron says, why did my dumbass think Ezra Bridger from Rebels? No, you're not a moron. It's just early in the morning. And Kyra says, even if she did egg him on, there's no justification to choke her out. He could have just walked away. Exactly. That's a very good point. He could have just walked away. I think that's the number one thing that I'm focusing on, is he could have just walked away. Why put yourself in that situation? But I also agree with Eric Stevenson. I'd want to see a longer video. You do want to see that longer video. You want to see what else is going on, things of that nature. John Castell says it looks fake. So a lot of people feel like it was probably I've seen that too, that people are claiming that it's fake. Eric Stevenson says, I can't tell if it's planned / scripted. So it's weird. Channel says, why are you playing this, dude? I'm playing this because this is the story. Welcome to the story. The Mornings with the Outlaw he's talking about the news of the day, news, entertainment. This is part of it. So I don't know what this means. I don't know what happened. So it just seems like it's a little bit of an unsettling situation overall. And it's frustrating overall because I like this guy as the actor. I thought he was really funny as Flash and as Barry Allen. Certainly perks of being a wallflower. He's fantastic in that movie. He's done so many incredible, he's in the Fantastic Beasts series. He's one of the best parts of that series as Credence Barebones. He was funny as hell in Trainwreck for sure when he was playing that assistant or that intern that gets involved with Amy Schumer. So, I mean, he's got some good talent and some good, interesting work. This is a dangerous situation overall, not only PR wise, but this is an assault. This is essentially an assault on a woman in an alley against a dumpster where you put your hand on her throat and then you move her down to the ground forcefully. That's not a good look. So it's a dangerous situation for him. publicly, PR wise, but also, or for them rather, but also overall, he could go to jail, he could be fined, he could be sued, any of that kind of stuff. So just, I don't understand people, physical altercations when you're in that situation just makes no sense to me at all. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm sure we're going to hear more about this situation as it goes along. Certainly throughout the day, there's probably going to be a statement or something like that coming out from them and their publicists. So we'll see as it goes along. Let me know what you all think. Please send in the super chat, send in your Streamlabs, and I'll read them here on the stream and see what you guys have to say, answer your questions and everything like that. Let me bring it up. Actually, I'm all, like I said, I'm all like figuring the new situation out as it goes along. I appreciate you all being patient with me, but I like the setup. I think I just have to move some decorations up behind me to make it look a little more nerdy and in place. Then we're good to go. Josh Guzman, oh well, thank you for the donation, Josh. He said, "Good morning, Outlaw. I'm still catching up on your shows from last week, but wanted to show my support for everything you're doing. Keep up the great work and stay safe. Much love to you, brother." Thank you so much, Josh. It's very, very kind of you. Much love and respect to you as well. Also want to give some love to the people who subscribed over the last 24 hours here to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're watching for the first time, really appreciate it. If you swung that cursor down there and hit subscribe, you've got so much content that is coming down. I just finished talking with Brian Ward to get the logo for the new Star Wars show. So I'll be announcing that very, very soon. So more content coming here from the Outlaw Nation, more shows coming down the pike. Let's see. XXS Material has subscribed. Notorious Schmo subscribed. James Lancaster subscribed. Driz Gang subscribed. Driz Gang was hanging out last night when we did our WrestleMania watch along. Hope you guys had a chance to watch that. If you haven't watched us do that WrestleMania watch along, it's up there now on my channel. There it is. It was Chris Burns over there on the left, as you can look at it. Rachel Evans joined us. Raven was in this thing. RVD was in this thing. Tyler Lemko was in the thing. A lot of you guys know him from YouTube. And Mike Lawrence, a very funny comedian who writes and contributes to The Soup. He was on as well. So we had a rotating band of anywhere from 4 to 6 people the whole time throughout. But yeah, Raven came in for a majority of it. And then RVD kind of took us almost all the way to the end. So if you want to watch that, it is up on my channel now. Now it's a 4.5 hour live stream, so you don't have to watch all 4.5 hours. Obviously, you could probably fast forward to whatever match you want to watch us commentate on. I'll tell you this: I think the thing to watch that I might clip out was our reaction to the Firefly Funhouse segment. I think that's the one that you want to watch and get to when you get a chance to take a look at that stream. So we had a good time, and I'll tell you what, that's honestly overall, that WrestleMania turned out way better than I thought it was going to turn out. And yesterday, or Saturday rather, I didn't think it was overall that great. I thought it was good, but not that great. Sunday really put it in a great spot. A lot of good matches all throughout the Sunday card. A couple of kind of whatever matches, but in a 4.5 hour show, you're going to have a couple of matches where you can go and get food or go to the bathroom or whatever and not have to worry too much about the storylines going on in there. But there were some great matches last night, and certainly the Charlotte with Rhea Ripley match was fantastic. Certainly the Firefly Funhouse stuff was great, and that ending match was stellar as well. I thought McIntyre and Lesnar put on a great show. For as quick of a match as it was, I thought it was a really good match overall. But I'm not even doing it justice. There's so many good matches last night, and there were 4 good matches, I think, on Saturday overall, including that Boneyard match. You got to watch that Boneyard match. AJ and The Undertaker getting it done. A lot of fun here. All right, we got over 150 y'all watching me live. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Please swing that cursor over and hit that like button. Get me over to 100 likes as soon as possible. Would love it if you could do that and give me some love here on that end. Would mean so much. So thank you so much for joining me again, and please hit that like button and subscribe. All right, let's move on to our next story, and that's the big story of today, and that is all the new Disney Marvel release dates that were issued here just on the tail end of Friday. So I'm going to go through all of them and go step by step and see where we are, and to kind of use a little analysis about why they were moved in the way they were moved. Black Widow is the first place we need to start at for sure, because that's the most current one that was moved. It was moved, it was ready to go on May 1st. Now it's being moved to where it's going into here in November, later on November 6th, 2020. That's where it's coming out at. It takes the Eternals spot. Eternals had been there and now it moves into the Eternals spot there in November, and Eternals itself moves to February 12th, 2021. So Eternals moving out of the November slot into next year, early next year in February, which is interesting. Remember, because February has slowly been becoming this month of superhero stuff, right? We had Deadpool there, we had Black Panther there, so now Eternals is moving into that February slot. Pretty cool stuff for the Eternals. I think it's actually a smart move overall for the Eternals. Now they have the entire that month, they kind of own that month, and then see how they can lead into summer with that kind of. Remember, Black Panther made a lot of money coming out in February and subsequently got nominated for Best Picture. So not a bad slot to be in overall. But Black Widow now moves to November 6th. This I think is a positive thing for Black Widow to kind of have a 2020 release date. I think they're desperate to drop it this year so they can just start rolling into their phase 4 as soon as they can after this. The other film we should talk about is Mulan. Mulan itself got moved again. It's moved now to July 24th. I think it's a bit ambitious to be moving it to July 24th. I don't see us going back to the theaters until the fall. I think with this whole thing that's happening here with coronavirus and the COVID-19, the idea that we're going to go back to the movies as quickly as possible seems far-fetched. I know that President Trump had the meeting with the sports leaders, and he's thinking everything's going to be fine by the fall. But I don't know, because already there are rumors that a second strain of this stuff is starting to bubble up in other places. That it's it's adapting, it's improvising. The virus is, and so that's kind of scary overall. If that actually proves out to be true, that could be something that we'd have to keep an eye on as it goes along and see how that affects things in on the side of movies. Another movie that is also got its movie release date adjusted was Indiana Jones. that one there. It's Indiana Jones 5 has been delayed because it's moving now from July 9th, 2021 to July 29th, 2022. And this is to not pit it against Jungle Cruise, because Jungle Cruise itself got moved as well to July 30th, 2021. So that's an entire year. The Rock and Emily Blunt's movie has to wait. So that thing's already shot. It was already ready to go this year, and now it's being pushed an entire year, kind of like what you saw with Fast 9 being pushed an entire year. This is pushed an entire year. So now they move Indiana Jones 5 back another year, which I don't understand, because he's not getting any younger, Harrison Ford. And this is kind of a dangerous situation for him to be in, kind of pushing it more and more and more. At some point, the public's taste for an Indiana Jones film starts to wane, doesn't it? You wait this long to do a new one. I think the public starts to lose interest in this series. And as he gets older and closer to 80 years old, we start stretching the limits of our believability in the situation. So I think this is a fascinating decision to keep pushing the Indiana Jones movie. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they come up with and what they do. Will they shoot it on schedule whenever they're available to come back? Will they shoot it as soon as possible because of Harrison Ford's age? So they can have it in the can. They just won't release it until 2022. That's a possibility as well. But also, you have to factor in what's Steven Spielberg's schedule, what's the studio schedule, what's Harrison Ford's schedule, all the schedule, the people you want to have on the movie. All of that's going to have to be figured out. So there's a lot that goes into this at this point that we just have no idea about. Another movie is Shang-Chi in the Legend of the Ten Rings. Shang-Chi is one that's, first Asian superhero movie from Marvel. And they were looking to release this thing during the Chinese box office. During the Chinese New Year, so that they would get the most out of the Chinese box office. That's when it was originally scheduled to come down on May 7th, 2021, but now it was supposed to come out on February 12th, 2021. Now it's being moved to May 7th, 2021, and this is on the heels of their director putting himself in self-quarantine in the situation. Ended up not having the coronavirus, but had been feeling ill, and so put himself in self-quarantine. By the time he came out of the quarantine, Disney realized they were going to have to shut the production down soon anyway, so they just went ahead and shut the production down so they didn't have to do any extra stuff or get the ball rolling and then have to all of a sudden abruptly stop. So they'll have 3 months to wrap up before it releases in May, and they're taking the pre-summer spot that was staked out for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's another one now. Doctor Strange itself moves off where it was initially intended to be. That is May 7th, 2021. Now it's going to be moved to November 5th, 2021, which is where Thor Love and Thunder was. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So this is interesting too, because remember that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is going to be connected to that WandaVision Disney Plus television show. And by the way, there's been no news on the Disney Plus stuff. Is it moved? Is it not moved? Is it delayed? Is it not delayed? We don't know when the Disney Plus stuff is supposed to come out. All these superhero series that are coming out, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and WandaVision. We don't know 100% how that's all these movements are going to affect things. And the truth is, Disney has time to kind of figure this out. So they're not going to drop all the dates all at once. They're going to now we've handled the movies. Now let's focus on where we're going to drop the TV shows and what reveals we want to have or what reveals we had scheduled. Because it's certainly possible they can move some stuff around and make it work to what they're trying to do with the phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we'll see how that plays out. But this will give Sam Raimi and Michael Waldron more time to work on the sequel and to make it work and to hone it, to shape it, to change some things around, to make it settle up on the right time. Thor Love and Thunder, which is what I just mentioned itself, Thor Love and Thunder. Now, this was supposed to come out on November 5th of 2021. Now it's going to come out on February 18th of 2022. So that's a Valentine's Day movie, or around Valentine's Day. Thor Love and Thunder is coming out. And maybe it's a little bit of maybe it is a little bit of a romantic film. Maybe it has got a little bit. I mean, we've got Jane Foster coming back, certainly. So, they had broken up by the time we saw them we saw Thor in Thor Ragnarok. You'd said there was a mutual decision, which we know it wasn't a mutual decision, but that's the situation there, that they'll be coming back in 2022 on Valentine's Day, or around Valentine's Day of 2022. So interesting decision by Marvel to put that there, but I think it's a smart decision overall. So we're seeing everything kind of moving. As I've said a number of times, it's like when you grab 7 files on your laptop and you move it over into one folder. It's what it feels like. Everything has to go together to kind of make it work. So they're probably to me, it insinuates that there are reveals in these movies and in these MCU movies and Marvel movies that are going to affect overall what we see from every subsequent movie. So they want to make sure they come out in a certain order to make it work correctly for them. Another a little piece of news: Black Panther stayed where it stayed. It's going to come out on February 6th? I think May 6th, 2022. So he kept his spot there for the sequel to Black Panther 2, and the one Ryan Coogler is coming back to direct that, so he'll be back, that film will be back on its original slot of May 6th, 2022. Another film that didn't get moved is Captain Marvel 2. That's going to stay on July 8th, 2022, so that will stay there. And of course, new director coming on to that project to shepherd that sequel and see what we got here to continue the story of Carol Danvers, and who knows what with Nick Fury, and of course Sword. I think we saw Sword, so all of that will play itself out there, but it's staying there on July 8th, 2022, and no surprise, that far out they weren't going to move that much. One that wasn't announced is Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3, of course, a lot of people are saying, well, that's Sony's film to announce, so that's why Marvel didn't include it in their announcement. Spider-Man Homecoming 3 is what they're calling it right now. It is still a Sony film, so they'll probably wait for Sony to kind of make that announcement out of respect for the fact that Sony is loaning them Spider-Man to use in the MCU, so that makes a lot of sense as well. And they're still picking out their crew. They recently hired the cinematographer Seamus McGarvey to take over, so they are still pushing ahead with production, or pre-production at least, and then eventually when they're allowed to shoot the film, they will start shooting the film. But that one has not had any kind of change in its release date or anything like that, so I think that's a positive overall for Spider-Man. It feels like, eventually we're going to get back into the rhythm of these movies coming out in a certain way, so keep them as far out as possible, and then we'll start rolling back into what we're used to. Another one, I don't know if I have a graphic for it. Do I have a graphic for it? I do not. And that's Bob's Burgers. A lot of people have been looking forward to Bob's Burgers, the theatrical release of it. It was scheduled to open this summer on July 17th. It's now been postponed to April 9th, 2021. There was an untitled Fox movie that was supposed to be there at that time. That has been postponed to April 9th of 2021. So there we go. So that's where it slides in at this point. And Boss Baby 2 is supposed to premiere 2 weeks earlier. So we'll see how that plays out. But we'll see. July 17th. We'll see what happens on July 17th. If that is still going to come out, a lot of the studios are trying to be aspirational that this will be done around May or June, or at least it'll be cresting around May or June, and then things will start to feel a little bit normal. But I personally don't think we're going back to the theaters till September or October. I just have a feeling about it. More and more people talk about like what they feel or what they hear is happening, what they worry is happening. So Soul has not been moved yet. So this is interesting. 20. So who's in this? 2021. This is Ross Tannenbaum. Says 2021 is going to be an absurd year for movies. Yes, I agree. It is going to be an absurd year for movies. So this is going to be interesting. Yes, Spielberg's not directing, I know, but he is producing it, executive producing. So I apologize if I misspoke and said he was directing. He is producing it. So apologies all around. Harrison is almost 80. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Mutating. Yeah, the mutating is there's a lot of rumors that the coronavirus is possibly mutating into a second strain. That's a lot of people are worried about it coming in the fall. Things of that nature. So it's interesting overall how this is all. We're just kind of holding on by as much as we can, here. Larry Lee says, no, Rocha, I need my job and theater reopen ASAP. Yeah, I'm sorry, Larry. I apologize. Of course, I'd love it to open as soon as possible, as long as it's safe. That's what's important, Larry. So yeah, I want you to go back because I want to go back to the theater too. I miss going to the theater like crazy. So the fact that it's not happening is incredibly frustrating overall for those of us who love movies. So let's see, we got some Streamlabs that have rolled through here. Let me answer some of these Streamlabs. Andrew G says, by the time they get to making this Indy 5 movie, it'll be about his grandkid raiding his tomb. That's funny, Andrew G. As much as I miss going to the movies and pushing the releases of all these MCU films stinks, I actually don't mind. More time for them to really tighten them up and give us some really solid, awesome, well done films. Yeah, that's for sure. That's the thing that I think is a positive. If you want to try to find a silver lining in this whole situation, is that these productions will have more time to kind of focus on their movies and hone their movies and release a good movie that everyone can be behind, everyone can like, and it'll make as much money as possible in the theaters. That's really what we want to look for. And I also think once we get the all clear, I think people will slowly come back, step by step, slowly come back. But then they're going to come in mass. And these big tentpole pictures are the ones they want to come see in mass and enjoy and kind of feel like everything is back to normal. Isn't that ironic? I mean, the big tentpole pictures were getting so much shit before this break with the coronavirus and the COVID-19 situation, because they're destroying theaters. We had the whole thing with Martin Scorsese. We had the whole thing with Francis Ford Coppola. But now we're looking at these tentpole pictures and we're going like, oh, please let these come back so that we can feel like we're back to normal. And I think that's important here for our society and for our world. People want to put essentially a tentpole in the ground to make them feel like they're back to normal again. So we'll see if that's how it happens. And I'm certainly looking forward to it. And I hope it does happen that way eventually, sooner rather than later. Larry, at least I'm with you. Everybody wants to go back to the theater. Everyone wants to enjoy the theaters again. All right, got over 140 of you in here. Thank you so much for watching. Please swing that cursor over, hit that like button, get me over to 150 likes before I wrap this thing up around 9:45 to give you a little bit of a break before you jump into SCN Live over there with Christian and the Shmoda Entertainment Network. It was announced that there's a champion versus champion match coming here as one of the exhibition matches. Me versus Dan versus Smets versus Alex Damon. Finally, I get Alex Damon. Finally. But no, this is going to be a regular trivia match. It'll be interesting how they set this all up, and he's trying to do it sooner rather than later. So, I've been kind of lax on my studying, just kind of focusing on the channel. And now I guess I got to hit it a little harder this week and get all focused up and get ready to go on, get ready to take those guys on. All good champions, all knowledgeable about movies. We'll see how it all happens. Yeah, as Jake Yakovina said, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Very, very important. Would appreciate it if you guys want to share the video, but also subscribe down below. Get me over to 20,000 subscribers. Really trying to get there as soon as I can. All right, let's see. One more Streamlab I think came through from Andrew G. He says, no new date for My New Mutants yet. Sad face. Yeah, I really think they should just drop this. I think at this point, you gotta accept the situation. I think you should just drop it and put it onto the streaming service of Disney Plus. Artemis Fowl is going to Disney Plus. Jeff and I were talking about that. Jeff predicted it when he was on the show on Friday. If you haven't watched that Mornings with the Outlaw, Jeff Snyder joined me for the last hour of the show from 9 to about 9. Oh, I'm sorry, from 8:45 to about 9:45. He joined me to talk about what's going on in the moving of all these films and things of that nature. The Marvel movie release dates had not dropped by the time we recorded the show, so that's why I'm making it the focus of this show, so that we can talk about it and see where we go from here. But yeah, that's going to be fascinating to see Artemis Fowl, because Artemis Fowl was a $125 million project. That was not a cheap movie by any stretch of the imagination, and I thought it was insane to spend that kind of money on a British child story film. Like, I just didn't think that thing was going to make as much money as people thought. So now they're going to put this thing on streaming and see what the reaction is to it. And it's kind of a test case scenario for these movies, for these big movies, to go into a situation like this and see if they do succeed in being able to recoup some of the money or make a profit going down to Disney Plus. Will that be possible? And I think New Mutants is the next one to be announced to go down into Disney Plus, because there's no reason to drop it. It's not going to make that much in the theaters, so why not put it on Disney Plus? Let people enjoy it. Let people comment on it. You own the news cycle for a while, so I think that would be fantastic as well. Well, we're getting some news here from Larry Leaks. He dropped the super chat, said Honor Blackman from Goldfinger passed away at 94. Well, 94, I mean, come on, give me a break. That's good. I'm going to be done at 80, guys. I'm not going past 80. Are you kidding? No way. That's right. Pussy Galore, right? Yes, Pussy Galore. Honor Blackman. She played Pussy Galore there in Goldfinger. Passed away sadly at 94, but 94 is a good amount of time. Like, you've done good work at 94 years old. So, I mean, if you've lived that long, I give you props as well. And I forget the actress's name. Let me look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure. Lee Fierro passed away from coronavirus. She's 91 years old. She was the actress in Jaws. Remember, she is the mother of the child who gets killed by Jaws, and she goes up and slaps Brody in the face. You knew. That is such a powerful moment in the movie. But yes, she passed away at 91 years old. Kevin Ryan, the artistic director and board president for Island Theater Workshop, where Fierro worked as a director and mentor for 25 years, told ET that the actress and educator was residing in Aurora, Ohio, at an assisted living facility where she died due to complications from coronavirus. Yeah, she was great in Jaws, and kind of made her residence over there at Martha's Vineyard. So much love and respect to her. Again, if you hit 90, I think you're good to go. Like it's, you can hang out, of course, as long as you like. But in my opinion, I think once you hit 90, you've lived a good life. You've left a good legacy. So, I mean, terrorists, you're going to be annoyed when I wish you a happy 81st. I won't be around after 80. Come on, guys. Come on. You know the road. The Outlaw is going to burn bright and burn for a while and then burn out. That's how it works. And it's going to be awesome on this ride. And hopefully I get to where I want to get to, the heights of where I want to get to, and then gleefully retire, spend some time with my lady Outlaw, and pass on. And hopefully some of you all, I leave in the Outlaw Nation some motivation to create your own thing and leave your own legacy and pass that on to your children. I won't be having any kids, so I leave it up to you to pass the Outlaw Nation on to your kids, generation to generation, the tenets of the Outlaw Nation. By the way, I'm kicking around a slogan for the Outlaw Nation because I want to maybe do some shirts or some merchandise, or some merch, as the people might say. I was thinking about the Outlaw Nation. Raw, authentic, and unfiltered. Do you guys like that? Or authentic, raw, and unfiltered? Or unfiltered, raw, authentic, and raw? Or unfiltered, raw, and authentic? Basically, those three words is what I want to use. And I want to use them in a correct order, and then join the nation. Something like that. So that's something I'm kicking around as well. See what you guys think. Do you like it? Raw, authentic, and unfiltered. That's kind of what I was leaning towards. But let me know what you guys think. Authentic, raw, and unfiltered. Is that better? Or unfiltered, raw, and authentic? Or unfiltered, authentic, and raw? I don't know. Let me know. But join the nation, I like. That's the one that's staying. But I want to put those three in some order. What do you guys think? Let me know. And I'm going to be doing merch on this as soon as possible. Maybe there's a marketing expert amongst all you all who are watching me this morning. Rocha, you can't use raw. You will get sued. Why? They don't own the word raw. WWE doesn't own the word raw. No. They do not own the word raw. They would not sue me. A little mom and pop operation like me, they're not going to touch. If I got to 100,000, 200,000 subscribers, then maybe at that point they'd touch me at this point. So raw, authentic, and unfiltered. Yeah, I kind of like that. Raw, authentic, and unfiltered. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that, Travis. I'm not doing that. ZB says, I feel like raw and unfiltered are almost redundant. You could probably get away with dropping one. All right, well, replace it. Think of a word. Replace. I'm open, honestly. I just want something that conveys the fact that we are this network and what we're building, and eventually the website as well, is about honest takes on the world of entertainment, studios, actors, whatever's going on in the world. The Outlaw Nation itself, I want it to be something that's authentic about sports, about politics. If we get into politics on the Outlaw Nation show, which of course Alice and I got into a little bit when we were doing the show, or if we get into any kind of issues we talk about on the Outlaw Nation, there's no fear about pissing off studios. There's no fear about pissing off actors. There's no fear about pissing off corporations. There's just authentic takes, honest takes, bold takes, and real takes about what's going on in the world. That's what I want the Outlaw Nation to be, that kind of vibe, and hire people to do that. There will be down the road a website, and I think the website is happening sooner rather than later. Once I can get someone to build the website for me and kind of take care of the website for me, I want it to look professional. I want it to look good, and I want to hire people who are hungry and starting out. I can't pay you, but the second we get advertisers, then boom, there's the money to pay you for what you're doing. But if you're starting out and you want to cut your teeth and you're a damn good writer and you want a place to put your work so you can showcase it to maybe jump to another website or jump to another thing situation, then the Outlaw Nation could be that platform for you. And that's what I want it to be. So it's 1,000% where I want to go with the situation. So we'll see. That being said, I should announce this. I'll tweet this tomorrow because there's a lot of stuff I'm dropping today. But tomorrow, I will announce this, and you all can get a heads up now. The Outlaw Nation Podcast Network has finally officially been approved on all the platforms I want to put it on. Apple finally came through over the weekend. So now all the shows on the Outlaw Nation Network will go to podcast as well. So they'll be available for you all to listen to all the old live streams, every of the mornings of the Outlaw Nation, all the strong style wrestling stuff, game time, all the sports stuff, any of the trailers or reviews that we do. The Geek Buddies already have their own podcast feed. So if you want to listen to any of that, it's down below in the description there. You can go there and subscribe to our podcast feed for Geek Buddies, and go there. But for the Outlaw Nation, it is officially the Outlaw Nation Podcast Network. That is the name I got approved. And so it'll be available on Google Podcasts, on Pocket Casts, on Spotify, on Anchor, on Apple, on all the different streams you got. So piece by piece, that's going to be the situation there for the Outlaw Nation. We're officially a podcast network. So I'm going to spend some time today and tomorrow just posting all the audio. It's going to take a lot of time to post it, but I want to post it all there for everybody to enjoy and download whatever they want to do and whatever they want to listen to while they're working out or doing that stuff. So it's official, finally, once and for all. It is approved. Yeah, I announced it last week, but it hadn't been, like, Apple hadn't approved it yet. Apple finally approved it over the weekend, so that'll be that. Manny Gonzalez says, oh yeah, who's tomorrow's guest for the Outlaw Nation show? You know, last week we had Roxy on. She was incredible. So much fun having Roxy on for a couple hours, and I stayed extra 45 minutes to talk to some of y'all personally. It was great times. Tomorrow night it will be Ken Knapsack. I forgot to nudge Jake to get me a thumbnail for that so I could announce it here on the show. But yes, Ken Knapsack will be on the show tomorrow. He is joining me to have a little fun on the Outlaw Nation show for a couple hours from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. live tomorrow night. Come on in with your comments. Come in and watch us live. If you want to drop some stream live, if you want to drop some super chats, that would be great as well to ask Ken anything you want to ask him. It's so much fun to have Ken Knapsack on the show and get to your thumbnail and the overlay from Jake Iacobetta. I'm going to touch base with him again about it. So there we go. So put that in your calendars, put that in your schedule. Definitely having Ken Knapsack tomorrow night. Let's see here. I've got 160 all in here, but only 120 likes. Please swing that cursor button, hit that like button, get me over 150 likes. I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot for me. Also, send in your Streamlabs, send in your super chats. A little bit light this morning in terms of Streamlabs super chat. So just kind of want to motivate you to send some stuff in. We can answer some questions, answer anything you want, ask me anything you want to ask me. Ask me anything you want to ask me. That's what Mornings with the Outlaw is all about. And don't forget, I've been doing this also. I did it all last week, and I'll be doing it again. I'm really having a great time doing these live conversations with people on Patreon. We'll do an audio one on Wednesday and then an on-camera one on Thursday nights, doing some hangouts, hanging with the Outlaw, things of that nature. There'll be some watch-alongs coming, Q&As, games, all of that happening at my Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/John Rocha. So many of you told me how much you've enjoyed the 2 shows I did last week, hanging out with you all for an hour verbally, and then hanging out with you all on camera for an hour as well. So look for more of that going along. And then I'm going to take a poll to see what film you guys want to watch along with me. Now that I've set stuff up in the office has a TV, has a thing, so I can do the watch along comfortably from the office in the couch watching along with you all. So things are being set up here for the Outlaw Nation that are even more convenient and better overall for anybody who is watching the show and a member of my Patreon. So feel free to do that and come aboard with me, and let's have a little fun. All right, let's see if I got any more streaming before we move on to the next situation here. Got some comments. Yeah, that's what Jake put up there. The Streamlabs. That's right. There it is. And then the Patreon as well. So take it on down. Take it on down to I don't know, what does Justin Timberlake say? Take it on down to base? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. Well, speaking of fun, let's jump into this story. And it's a fun little story. It's the Tiger King. That's right. Jeff Lowe. He's been him and apparently his girl, was it Lauren or Laura, whatever her name is. They have been doing these cameos for people, and they're charging people $150 a pop to do these cameos. His wife Lauren, that's right, that's her name. And one of the cameos he did, and by the way, this has been taken off like crazy already. Apparently, Kate McKinnon is attached to produce and star as Carol Baskin in a feature film production of this Tiger King story. They're like hunting around to see who's going to play the Tiger King. A lot of people have ideas, but I think Joe Exotic had some ideas himself. He wants Brad Pitt to star as him. Of course, he wants Brad Pitt to star as him in the movie. Why wouldn't he want him to do it? So I'm not surprised at all. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Joe informed its series director Rebecca Chaiklin that his preferred fictional stand-ins are recent Oscar winner Brad Pitt and David Spade, because he enjoyed how David Spade played Joe Dirt. But Kate McKinnon is certainly involved. And there was a Twitter exchange apparently between Dax Shepard, Edward Norton, and Justice Long, all chiming in that they'd love to get involved in this production. So there's a lot coming, a lot of stories coming down to see what we're going to get from a Tiger King feature film. I'm excited about it, that's for sure. And we'll see what happens. But anyway, this story is about the fact that Jeff Lowe himself he's doing these cameos with Lauren. As I said, he's charging $150 a pop to do these cameos for people. And one of the cameos he did was for Los Angeles Dodgers baseball player. What's his name? Evan Turner. I think Turner. What's his name? I forget. Turner. Oh man, I had it in my head and then I just lost it. Oh well. But anyway, he's the baseball player for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And during this, he mentioned, Justin Turner, there it is. And he mentioned that they will be filming a portion of a new episode tomorrow and that it will be streaming on Netflix as soon as next week. Now, a lot of people are like, this is insane. Netflix has not commented on this one way or another. So they haven't denied it, which says something, but they haven't commented on it either to say yes or no. But they're saying that it'll be streaming on Netflix as soon as next week. That's a hell of a turnaround for the production value on this thing. So we'll see if it actually happens and they put it together or not. Oh, yeah, I can hear the cops. Sorry, I was hearing the cops scream. I didn't know what was going on. I thought someone had the TV on really loud. But I can hear the cops outside. Apparently, there's something going down outside here. So, well, you can hear it through the open window. But, yeah, so we'll see. Do you believe him? Do you think Jeff Lowe's telling the truth here? Or is this more a matter of him, like, wanting some publicity and some press for himself, selling some more cameos? I don't know. But the guy's a con man. Certainly, a lot of people feel he's a con man. So, is he trying to bamboozle Netflix into doing an episode highlighting him? They said him and Lauren are shooting something. Is it true? I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting situation. So What are people saying? What do you guys think? I know it's a TV. I think it is a TV show, duh. But they're going to turn it into a movie. I don't think they're going to turn it into a TV show. Kingston Travis says, "Oh my God, let this shit die." Paris. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, Ryan Gosling would be interesting. Larry Lee says Roxy got me watching Tiger King. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Michael Keaton would be good too, says A.B. Hokey. I don't deny that. Oh, Gene Burns says, did anybody see the O.J. Simpson video? He thinks Carol killed her husband. Really, O.J.? LOL. Yeah, O.J. is trolling like crazy on this story. My girlfriend told me about it as well. She was going nuts looking at this thing. Rocha, I think Jeff Schneider would be a great Tiger King. That's great. I think that's great. I absolutely could see Jeff as a Tiger King. Oh my God. I know Paradis Jesu Dason says, I am not okay with animal abuse. Absolutely. Totally. Yeah, Galen, I do. I gotta figure out, I'm dropping things through the StreamYard, so it takes a little bit of time to get it all squared away. Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc as Joe Exotic. All right. I'm down with that. Let's see. Justin Towns thinks Kate McKinnon overacts, which is fine for SNL, but it ruins movies, in my opinion. All right. Hell of a hot take, my man. Anybody else? Chris Hall says, we need more TikToks from Rocha. No. I do them every once in a while, only when I get inspired. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Calvin. Sorry, Calvin. Yeah. It's early in the morning, man. Give me a break. Don't avoid this thing. Get through the first episode. The second episode is the one that's going to hook you. The first episode, you're like, what the hell is this all about? The second episode is the one that hooks you, and then you keep going from there. So, yeah, don't avoid it. It's fantastic. I enjoy the hell out of it. Andrew G donated here is, you know what, though? Brad Pitt would probably kill it as this Tiger guy. Yeah, Brad Pitt would be great. I think so, too, Andrew G. Having Brad Pitt and Kate McKinnon in the situation would be absolutely hilarious. And Brad Pitt has played those kind of characters before, obviously, throughout his life. I mean, certainly in True Romance, he's played that kind of character. So him playing a little, like, especially in the Mexican, right? He's a little step behind everybody else kind of mentally about what's happening. So he has played the kind of slower people or whatever. So it'd be fantastic. Chris Hall says Rocha is pretty bad at names. Don't take it to heart. It's true. I did not watch Ozark season 3. That's what Pram DeRoy is asking me. I did not watch Ozark season 3. It's not my jam. Honestly, I haven't really gotten into Ozark, and maybe at some point I will down the road and start catching up and burn through the seasons. I kind of work that way sometimes. I kind of get in the mood for something and then I just kind of rip through it. So we'll see down the road if I do that or not. Andy Burnett wants to know, I'm late, but did you talk about the Dark Side of the Ring on New Jack? I did. It's on our Strong Style episode. So the Strong Style is the professional wrestling show that I have here on the Outlaw Nation channel. And me and Aaron Turner do it every week. We revisit some classic wrestling match and talk about it and talk about its legacies and its connecting tissue to what's going on in the world of pro wrestling nowadays. We just did an episode last week on Prince Puma versus Pentagon Dark at Ultima Lucha Tres. And the first 20 minutes we spend reviewing the New Jack episode from Dark Side of the Ring, which if you haven't seen is absolutely incredible. You need to see it. So go and watch that thing if you want. It's over there on the Strong Style playlist, which you can find on the front page of the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel. So go and find that there, the first 20 minutes, and we talk about it. So it's pretty cool. Let's see. Some way. Imagine if all the tigers were played by the cast of Cats. That is funny. That is funny as hell. Anybody says, great, thanks. Your last issue on Chris Benoit was awesome. Yeah, that was a great one. It's got over 1,000 views too. So people certainly enjoyed it and liked it. So I appreciate that. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, go enjoy that first 20 minutes of Strong Style. Rocha, got to say, last year's Houston Schmoedown was my favorite live experience. Never knew you got injured. Mad respect. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Me and Corey talked about that on SEN Live when I was hosting a few weeks ago before the whole thing happened with coronavirus. Yeah, we're talking about it. He ran into me from behind and hit me in the shin, which hurt, which is why I kicked him back, or the calf rather, which is why I kicked him back And he was like, he rolled with it, but I didn't know until we did the show on SCN Live that he had actually was like surprised at how hard the kick was and realized it actually hurt me when he kicked me. So there we go. It was pretty funny overall. All right, let's get into our last show. Let's get into our last topic, and we'll wrap up here in just a little bit. I don't see any more Streamlabs or any more super chats coming through. The door's still open. Please send them through if you can. Any super chats, any Streamlabs would be most appreciated. We keep the lights on in this place, keep the lights on in my life. So in that way, so please send them through if you can. Got almost 170 y'all watching me right now. Please swing that like button over, or swing the cursor over, hit that like button so we get above 150 likes before I wrap this thing up in just a little bit. So do it. Let's see. What's our next story? Let's jump into it now. Let me bring the graphic up here for you to take a look at and give you the vibe. And that is this guy. That's right. Louis C.K. Some of y'all saw my tweet over the weekend. I've been going back and forth with some people about this situation with Louis C.K. He dropped his new special, and it's dropped it for like $7.99. Remember, he was one of these guys that got caught up in the Me Too movement. He denied that he'd done these terrible things, masturbating in front of these women, clocking the door and doing it, or doing it in the green room for years. These are rumors that had persisted from a number of female comics, and he denied them over and over again. And then eventually, he finally admitted it into that in that way. So, but then he released the special. A new special. It's out now for $7.99 on his website. And I personally had some issue with this. And so I want to just kind of bring it up, see what you all think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. But in my opinion, I thought it was kind of weird that he would release. He's a multi-millionaire. He is totally fine. A lot of people are like, oh my God, he can't earn money. He's got punished or canceled or whatever. But bro, he didn't get canceled. He canceled himself. He didn't get punished. He punished himself. Those are those things. He took actions that were offensive and they violated people. You know what I'm saying? He didn't physically assault anybody, but he certainly assaulted their senses and their minds by doing the things he was doing and taking liberties with them. I mean, how would you like it if someone just kind of walked right up to you and started jagging off in front of you? Right? Like, they had no respect for your space or the fact that you didn't want to see that and did it right. Like, it would just be so disrespectful, right? So he did that. And then it's been funny to see how many stand-up comics have come across and like defended him. He's been doing gigs for over a year now in these clubs, making his money. So it's like he hasn't made any money. And then he dropped this special of $7.99. So my big contention was that I thought he should have just released it for free. And this is a way to kind of get some better PR, maybe kind of walk back into the situation and saying like, look, this is, mea culpa. I'd like to release a special, blah, blah, blah. I know Chappelle, after all the stuff that happened with him, he dropped his stuff on Netflix. Of course, Louis probably couldn't drop his stuff on Netflix, but I thought there was a way that he could have done it that maybe they had a little bit better PR around the whole situation, in my personal opinion. Other people feel differently. Other people felt that I was being ridiculous, that he has a right to earn money. He has a right to make his, he has a right to charge for a special. Of course, he has a right to charge for a special. This is a capitalist economy in the United States. He has a right to charge what he wants for a special. I was coming from the place of, if you've just come out of this situation where you've done all these things to these women, and you admitted that you did it once and for all after denying it vehemently for years and even trying to sue people through your lawyers because you were a multimillionaire to try to sue these smaller comedians or these comedians who barely have any money and are living gig to gig. You try to sue them into silence. Then you don't get a lot of leeway in my world. You don't get a lot of leeway in my world. So if you want to start doing this thing, there's got to be some steps you take where you accept responsibility and also where you showcase your work for free to kind of say, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize. And also in the work, apologize for what you did. But in the work, he is essentially almost making fun or making light of it in one way. Here is what he says. In the closing minutes, this is from Variety. He discusses consent and how it needs to be clear and ongoing. He says, if you want to do it with someone else, you need to ask first. But if they say yes, you still don't get to go woo and charge ahead. You need to check in often. And I guess that's what I'd say. It's not always clear how people feel. He says, men are taught to make sure the woman is okay. The thing is, women know how to seem okay when they're not okay. And when he talks about, then Variety says that he makes a racist and misogynist comparison to women having sex and slaves singing while they were forced to work. He says it's kind of like a Negro spiritual. It's sort of similar. So to assume that she likes it is like if they heard slaves singing in the field and you're like, hey, they're having a good time out there. He also addressed why legitimately, what? And then he says he liked to address he liked to master why he addressed why he liked to masturbate in front of women. He said, quote, I like jerking off. I don't like being alone. That's all I can tell you. I get lonely. It's just sad. I like company. I like to share. I'm good at it too. If you're good at juggling, you wouldn't do it alone in the dark. You'd gather folks and amaze them, he said. So to me, this is not admitting that you did anything wrong. This is making light of it. And why should he get to make light of this situation when he's the one that initiated the situation, in my opinion? So to me, I thought it was just the wrong way to go about it. And comparing it to a Negro spiritual, I get the joke. I get the context of the joke. The thing is, how are you using that situation to compare to what? I mean, like, look at the amount of shit I got. Okay, so here's Mr. G Movies. Reading jokes out of context is stupid. What's out of context? What's out of context? The context is there. He is saying that women smiling and being okay about a situation, and you're checking in with them when they say okay, is akin to slaves singing in the fields, and you think they're fine with slavery. There's your context. How fucking hard is that? It's not hard to get the context of these jokes. So to me, this is not about context or being taken out of context. Perfectly placed in context. They just weren't 100% the best way to go about it, is my opinion. So I don't know what context you want to throw in there. Please enlighten me with this extra context that you think is missing from these jokes. There's no context that's missing. Don't be ridiculous. And the whole thing with the idea of like, he makes light of the masturbation by turning it into like an act, a circus act that he can do to perform for other people. Yeah, but those people pay tickets, and you say you gather people and show them what you do. Absolutely, you gather them because you're telling them that I can go, I can juggle. You're gathering somebody good. Now, imagine how many people you walk up to and go, hey, you want to come see me masturbate or jerk off in front of you? That's how you gather people. And he didn't do that. He brought them in under false pretenses into these rooms to hear their sets or talk about their comedy, these young women, and then he masturbated in front of them. So you're not gathering people, all right? You're herding people in for a separate reason and then surprising them with essentially a mental and visual assault on their senses and violating their privacy, violating their desire to not have or see that in front of you. So please give me a break, man. I just think it's ridiculous. People are like, it's out of context, or he should be able to earn his money. Absolutely should be able to earn his money. My thing, Forbes has him at $16 million. $16 million. He was $25 million last year. So, he's lost a few million. Okay. But he's still not, he's not struggling, for fuck's sake. It's 16 million. So yeah, exactly. That's the one I like to say. Louis C.K. screwed Louis C.K. Yeah, right. A nice Vince reference. Brett screwed Brett. And Mr. G Movie says $7.99 is not too much compared to $20 for Bloodshot. Certainly it isn't, but I guarantee. But Vin wasn't doing any of that shit. So there's a different situation in that. So Grimash's amazing stream yesterday. Big congrats, John. Thank you, Grimash. I appreciate it. I hope people enjoyed that too. I enjoyed that as well. So it's a lot of fun to see. Oh, sorry. Mr. G Movie Reviews was there. He was actually there and saw that Louis C.K. didn't lock the door. Wow. Incredible. Tell us more about your experience while you were there watching it all happen, Mr. G. Please. I look forward to it. I miss Mondays. Gene Burns says, I miss Mondays with Rocha and SEN. So do I. I loved it. I had a really good time hosting on Mondays. It's always a blast to do that. So Mr. G says he needs to keep making a living. Sure he does. And I can comment on it, how he's doing it and how he's going about it. So what's the big deal? Who's saying he can't make a living? I'm saying this has been a smarter PR move for him not to charge and just drop the special. But him charging people is essentially saying, hey, pay $8 to hear me talk about myself masturbating in front of these women and making light of it and taking away the weight of what I did and taking away the hurt and the pain of what I did and the way I violated these people's, violated these people's space, in essence, with my own selfish desires and sexual impulses to do certain things. So maybe when you get older, you'll understand, Mr. G. I hope you do. I hope you do one of these days. Let's see. Pretty sure it's more than 60. Yeah. Cam Chef says pretty sure he has more than $16 million. I agree. I'm pretty sure he does that. What's it say? I'm good at it too, but I don't do that shit. But I do that shit alone. I know. Oh man, it's so crazy. I agree with you, Rocha. Don't be a dick to your viewers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying. Don't be a dick to. No, I'm going to call you out when I call. It's the Outlaw Nation. It's not Hold Your Hands Nation. Okay, so if you're going to come at me with bullshit, I'm going to come right at you. That's how this works. Was your first time here? Come on. Let's see. Wiley Todd says, "Yo, Rocha, my man, do you like Biggie Smalls music?" Of course. Yeah, I love Biggie Smalls. Notorious B.I.G. is the shit. I've been trying to buy the albums too, but the albums are so expensive. Now that I have a record player, I've been trying to buy the albums and the LPs of that shit. But it's so, B.I.G. stuff is in the $40 range. It is not cheap. It is not cheap at all. But yes, I do love Biggie Smalls, of course. One of my favorite ones is that kind of reggae one he does with Diana King. I think it's called Respect. That is one of my favorite rap songs ever. He does a badass job with that stuff. So, yeah. Cam says definitely call out the Riddick fans. I block them. LOL. Yeah, I bet you do. I would too, but I'm not in that place right now. Manny Gonzalez says this guy is ignorant. Totally, I blocked him. So there you go. There's the difference in a lot of situations. Okay, now you agree? Now you agree, Schlonghorn Leghorn? Now you agree? All right. He says, I'm going to head out, but love you, Rocha. Great vids. Yeah. Thanks, man. Overall. So anyway, I'm just saying, I just think it's a bad situation overall. And I don't, but I didn't, there we go. Because thought you were being rude at first, but I'm agreeing with you, man. Yeah. I mean, you got to understand how I handle these things. I'm cool with talking about everything, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion. That's what the Outlaw Nation is, right? What did we say? What was I saying with the slogan? Raw, unfiltered, maybe raw, unfiltered, and in your face, or maybe raw, authentic, and in your face. Maybe that's the better thing. But my girlfriend thinks it's too aggressive. I don't know. We'll see overall how it all plays out. But I want something that I just want something that conveys that you're like, this is not a bullshit place. This is a fun place. It's an enjoyable place to come to the Outlaw Nation. But we're also going to tell you the truth. We're also going to put it on the table and have you deal with it. That's certainly the way we're going to go with the Outlaw Nation. So I'm going to take a drink real quick. All right. Anyway, we've hit that point where I should probably start wrapping up here. Got about 5 minutes left. Oh, just had a subscription. Benmu Rida. I hope I'm saying that right. Just subscribed it here to the Outlaw Nation. Thank you all so much. And thank you all so much. Got over 161 likes. Thank you. That's awesome. 160 likes, rather. Thanks so much for giving it a like. And over 163 of you still watching right now as we wrap this thing up here. So much fun to see you all out here with me. So much fun to see you all joining me here on these mornings, 4 mornings with the Outlaw. I am doing a Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, but I think the time is coming where I might start to just have morning with the Outlaw be on Friday, and it'll be like a 2-hour morning with the Outlaw where we go through all the topics, and it'll have time codes of the news of the week. So that's a possibility. I don't know. Wednesdays are getting tougher for me because of having the Outlaw Nation go late at night. Waking up the next morning to kind of essentially talk about the same things seem to be repetitive to me. So I might be turning Wednesdays into the hangout time with the patrons verbally from like 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. just hanging out, talking to them on the Discord app. So if you're not a member of the Patreon, please go and become a member. I think $5 and above will get the vocal one, like what we're talking about stuff, and the $7 and above will get the video one that we do on Thursdays. That's the plan at this point. So, and Mondays, I'll see what I'm going to do about Mondays, because right now, I mean, I'm enjoying this show and I love doing this show for you guys. But overall, I got to figure out what I'm going to do about Mondays, and if I'm going to keep doing mornings with the Outlaw on Mondays. But Friday is definitely one that will not be moving. Friday morning with the Outlaw, definitely. But we'll see what happens overall. Because I feel like I'm doing a lot of shows, but I want to do shows that people are enjoying and paying attention to and supporting more than anything else and being a part of. So I get a lot of positivity out of the Outlaw Nation show at night. And maybe that's what I do. Maybe Monday is a Outlaw Nation show or the Rocha show or something like that, We just talk about whatever. Whereas the Outlaw Nation show is more about with the person who is my guest and talking about what they want to talk about. So maybe that's the way around it, where I make it a Monday night show after Riley's. I know Riley has from 5 to 6, so maybe a Monday night show from 6 to 8 instead of a morning show. And that way we're talking about all the weekend's news and the Monday news all in one. But that could work, I think, overall. So we'll see. Mornings with the Outlaw. The Outlaw wrap-up show on Fridays. Yeah, that could be it. So it's we'll see, and we'll put it together soon. So all right, thanks everybody for watching this morning. Really appreciate you all taking the time to spend some time with this idiot on a Monday morning. It's always an honor and a pleasure and a blessing to be able to talk to you guys and talk to you about what's going on in the world and hear what you guys think as well. I always appreciate and love the responses and the back and forth. Level 2 Trading says, is your YouTube channel monetized? Yeah, it's been monetized since January, brother. I'm trying to increase the monetization. I'm trying to do shows that get the most amount of money. And so I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So yeah, so I am monetized on YouTube. Absolutely. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it even more concise and more focused and generate the most amount of income off of these shows. So I'm learning as I go along and figuring out what it is works for me and what doesn't work for me. So that's kind of the approach I have. Galen Shumway says, Rocha, did you watch Laugh Aid? Bonfire crushed. The rest was very blah. No, I haven't. I will take a look at it then. I will go and find it and enjoy that kind of jazz and see if it's any good. Is there any other super chats that have rolled through here? I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. A lot of you all are appreciating what I'm doing, so I appreciate that. A lot of you all want to swing stuff around. Let's see. Manny Gonzalez says, I love Weekend with you and Drew, though. Those are fun and great, so don't touch that one. Yeah, we're kicking that around. I mean, but that one's only getting like 2,000 views, whereas the Outlaw Nation gets like almost 4,000 views. So what can I do on a Friday that will get me those views? I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure that out. Of course, in the morning, I still want to keep that Mornings with the Outlaw, but what will the Friday show be? I don't know. So I'm figuring that out as I go along. But anyway, just thank you all so much for joining me here on Mornings with the Outlaw on this lovely Monday morning. It is raining here in Los Angeles, but I'm still having a good time, enjoying my life and trying to do the best I can here in the world and trying to do the best I can for you all as members of the Outlaw Nation. Please follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm trying to get Instagram above 20,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get Twitter above 35,000 subscribers. And I'm trying to get YouTube above 20,000 subscribers. So please give me some love in that way. Come and join the Outlaw Nation Patreon as well. There's so much coming for the patrons. The patrons are going to start to have more and more of my time every week as this goes along, more and more things to do with them. Certainly training me for, and maybe I'll start doing that now, is sending stuff out where you guys are training me for an hour a day as we lead into this exhibition match. That's certainly possible as well. If my girlfriend would stop using the mouse on my computer, that would be great. So things of that nature. So we'll see how it goes along and how it plays out. So follow me there. Follow the Patreon as well. Subscribe below for the Outlaw Nation channel. And don't forget to jump over to SCN Live at 10 a.m. Christian Harloff, probably there with Brett Sheridan, doing his thing. They tried to bring me on Friday, but there were some issues with Skype and all that jazz. Me and Kate Mulligan were going to be on. So he's getting closer. He's getting closer to getting it correct. And please don't forget to watch the live stream of our WrestleMania Day 2 festivities. It's up there on the channel now. There's also a new Geek Buddies episode that dropped just a few days ago and a new Top 10 episode that dropped just a few days ago as well. So a lot happening over the weekend. Give it some love. And my girlfriend coming at me. All right. And I'll talk to you all next time. Have a great rest of your day and, find some peace today. It is a Monday. Mondays can be tough. I know a lot of us are inside. Take a walk where you can safely, listen to some music, watch a movie or maybe just sit quietly for an hour and just listen to the sound of your breathing to kind of level you and center you. And that may bring out the best put you in a really good place and bring out the best you can do today. So do what you can. And hey, even if you have some stumbles today, Tuesday's another day. You can pick it on up from there. So just, kind of be patient with yourself and understand that the bad days go by as quickly as the good days. They're just as fleeting. It just feels like it's longer, but it's the same amount of time. So don't forget that. All right, take care. Love all of you. We'll talk to you next time on the Outlaw Nation. Take care.